Welcome back! We've made it to Touch Force Floor Get Dizzy, which is almost at the halfway point for this set. And right now, we've got an opportunity to leave with only part of the loot here. There are 43 chips here, but you only need 35. Yes, you don't need everything here, which makes this very interesting to optimize, I'm sure. It is kind of like forced entry from the original set, except unlike that level, there isn't a long continuous path that extends throughout the whole map and loops back around. There's miniature paths that you have to get on and off. And it kind of is a little bit stressful, but not exactly, since you don't need everything, but it doesn't exactly bring anything new to the table with respect to Force Floor levels either. But still, it's a decent level, though. Let's see, I'm kind of just shamelessly boosting backwards off Force Floors here, and I know that's not allowed in Lynx, but oh well. Boo-hoo. I'm gonna do it anyway. Come on, there you go. Well, I'll forget that one. Nice thing is you can just move on. You don't have to get that one chip that you have trouble getting with as a result of this not requiring everything, but it looks like we ended up doing that anyway. Much to my own surprise. Let's see. We got everything. Awesome. And now let's just take this loopy path all the way around. It looks like this is another level in which a Gymnium did not extend the main part of the level all the way to the end. And I think it worked out really well. I like the nice little path there where you can go around and look at all the memories from everything you did. So that's Touch Force 4 Get Dizzy. And now it's time to choose our own adventure. Cloning either monster is correct. Once you beat this level, try it again the other way. Yeah, this is a choose your own adventure level with only 2 options, but I kind of like that because a lot of these levels have 4 quadrants and it's kind of the same old thing. In fact, I designed one of these levels a long time ago when I was a little kid, and I was like 8 years old and there was like no levels on the internet, and I thought it was really clever, but then turns out everybody ended up doing that. And I'm going to go ahead and take the right path first, and it looks like we have another one of these little devices here. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of these sorts of things for that reason right there. So I'll just wait here. There we go. And we're out. So I'm going to do the left path after this so you guys can see both options. It looks like we got a block puzzle here. With chips under the blocks. Nice. So I kind of like this approach to the choose your own adventure concept, even if there are only 2 solutions. I love the crisscrossing paths like we have up there with the teleport in the ballroom. And you'll see something rather interesting at the end that I'll point out when we get there. That's definitely a refreshing alternative to the 4 quadrants version. This room kind of reminds me of Jumble from CCLP 3. Except I'll go this way and get that a little faster. Looks like this is the convergence point for both of the paths, and from here we have another choice. We can either get the blue or yellow key, or I'm going to get the yellow one, and you'll see why. Because here at the very end, because you have that choice, you can actually exit 4 different ways with 2 different exits here. If you press the blue button and took the left path, you could still go here, but you'd have to take the tanks at the end, whereas I'm going to take this path. And you wouldn't really see this path if you did take the tank path, so I kind of wanted to show you as much of this level as possible. And you see how the tank path works, so I'm not going to show you guys that, but I will show you the left side. At least the top part's the left side, and the bottom area is more the right side, and I don't know why in the world I did that. That was really silly. That had to be one of the weirdest deaths I've had so far. Whoa. That would have been an even worse one. Well, it looks like we got a device here where we have to push this tank down with the block. Kind of like Think Tank, only without all the annoying. Wait a minute. Didn't we just have a level with this sort of thing? I'm kidding. It's alright. Well, we can't get the one on the other side, but then again, we couldn't do that last time either, so I'll assume that's alright. Here, the path is pretty straightforward. You just have to know which one leads to oblivion, I guess you could say. And we don't want to go right, so we just want to keep going up here so we can get this guy. Well, let me go here first. Well, I guess that would have been the way out, but it's alright. Whoa. I guess we don't really need that recessed wall. That's kind of odd. Alright, this time I'm going to take the left path, and in this case, it doesn't really matter which one you take. Either way, it's still the same result, and you can see how the blue one looks like, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, 49 cell is next. This is the third level in this series of cell levels. And for the most part, I have to say this is probably my favorite of the series. There's another one at 64, which follows the pattern of squares. And we'll get to that later on, but to be honest, in my opinion, I think that one was a little big. Whereas this one is just the right size, and I think it works really well. Yeah, let's go this way, why not? We're starting to tread on familiar territory here. Have we been down here? I don't think... Yeah, we did. Okay. So where to go? Well, we need to go down here and get this, so that's one possibility, and we can go here as well. We can also get to the skates, which will really help us a lot. I think I saw at least 2 things we can do with the skates. Like press this guy. I think there's a key here, yes. And this allows us to go down here and get more stuff and press this guy. I keep referring to everything as a guy. Alright, and then there's one more path that I don't believe we took, which was down by the yellow, or past the yellow door, and that's out this way. Make a loop and go back. Like I said in 36 cell, I like the fact that this is kind of like Trinity, only except without the long paths. In that regard, it really works well. Wait, that's right. The chip socket's in the lower left. This is the only part of this level that I'm kind of a little sketchy about, is this, having a teeth monster at the very end that you have to dodge in. Well, I guess you don't have to dodge it in close quarters, because you can easily just lead it out somewhere and just make a loop, so that's alright. It's totally cool. But we don't have to worry about that teeth monster, because it won't ever bother us again. And we're done. 49 cell, checked off our list. And now that brings us to enjoy the show. Just hold the up key to get through most of this level. Yeah, the monsters destroy all those bombs at the beginning, and I gotta admit, it's a little more fun to watch in Lynx than it is in Microsoft. And there's at least one point, if I remember right, where holding the up key will cause cross-checking, so I'm going to have to be careful there. So yeah, there's all sorts of fun going on here. And I'm just holding the up key. This kind of reminds me of that, there's a level that Pie Guy made a long time ago called What The? And you basically just went on this ice slide and there was like all this data resetting mayhem that was caused by that. And it was just the weirdest thing. I think that's the cross-checking bit right there. But anyway, you just had to like go up the ice slide and like not worry about doing anything. Like you didn't press any buttons at all. And just the natural order of things would just carry you to this exit that would appear out of nowhere. And I'm waiting. There we go. Okay, I was kind of worried there for a minute. Alright, we enjoyed the show, and now we have completed half of this set, so let's give ourselves a pat on the back. That was me giving myself a pat on the back. And now, we can have more fun with ice, with Against the Flow. This level was kind of an inspiration for me, because I built a level that was kind of supposed to resemble it. It's called Ice Ice Maybe, in which you had to cross an ice path that had tanks being cloned on it, and they were like at regular intervals and stuff. And then at the very end, unlike what you have to do here, you actually had to dodge everything on the ice, and you weren't allowed to go on the outside paths. I gotta say, I'm kind of torn between which one to support more for CCLP1, because on one hand, I like this level and its simplicity a lot. I didn't actually like this level when I first played it. I thought it was kind of a little boring, but I kind of like it a little more now, just because it's not quite so presumptuous, or is it pretentious or presumptuous? I forget which, but it wasn't quite as, you know, crazy as my level, and I kind of like that when a level knows how to contain itself. Let's see, let me get the third of the 4 keys here, because we need a green one. Here we go. And with this, we should be able to exit. I'm just going to wait for the monsters just to be safe. Yes, right here. I also like the fact that whenever there's an area in which you can go cross the ice, or that's a possibility and you may or may not make it to the other side, you're not actually encouraged to do so until the very end of the path, and except for this part right here. But for the most part, that whole concept is very clearly lined out, and that's really nice too. And I'm just going to be safe and wait. There we go. We have successfully navigated Against the Flow, in both respects. Alright, Escape the Telenet. This is nothing like the level called Telenet from the original game. Instead, this focuses on a unique application of partial posting, in which monsters are used, which is kind of cool, and also the perfect subject for a small level, I think. Basically, you want to put one monster on the other side, so that when the other monster goes through the teleports, then it will be in the middle, like this. There you go. Well, both of them ended up in the middle. Okay. I guess the other one tried to go back, and then both of them were there. Alright. Let's move on to Hotel Chip. This is actually one of my favorite levels in the set. Chip, your room is number 501. Don't go pushing on our blue walls, or you might break them. This is basically an item swapper, but the way it's structured is just very charming. It's got this hotel motif, and here's something cool. See, look at this. This could be an elevator, right? Whereas over here, we've got force floors. So maybe these are like supposed to be stairs or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's like an order that actually gets you nowhere, because as far as I know, I have not been able to mess this level up. And I think if it were possible, then it's really hard to do that. So it's not like which one next, or, you know, one of those types of levels. But yeah, the objective is you have to break through the blue walls, which is pretty fun. And I forget whether there's a green key or not. I can't remember that off the top of my head. Let's see. Yes, you have to go through here. Very interesting hotel. I hope these other guests don't mind us breaking into their rooms and stuff. Looks like we're going to use the toggle switch to gain access to that. And we're probably going to find more down here on the second floor. At least I'm assuming this is a second floor. Maybe this is... Well, is there anything on the area below this? I'm not sure. This is also a nice use of blue and invisible walls. I think blue and invisible walls, they're kind of one of those things that's been... They've been misused in the sense that they're either used all the time or none of the time. Whereas I think they're used best when they're used sparingly like this. I think this part of the level is the only part that I'm kind of a little iffy about. Dodging teeth in close quarters is kind of a little hairy, but it worked out there. Okay, there are things here on the bottom floor. We just haven't been to them yet. I don't know if it's possible. No, it's not possible to go in there. I find the idea fascinating that all these normal doors that are green that you could theoretically go through if you had a key to get through them are inaccessible here. Yeah, this way. Alrighty, we got some flippers. Good stuff, good stuff. Let's see what we can do with these. I think we've pretty much exhausted everything we can do there. Oh, we can go in here. Okay, that's good. Didn't realize that. I don't think we can go through that, so Oh, we need to get something that we can use to open that. Okay, that makes sense. What about... No, we can't do that either. Okay. So what can we use this for, I wonder? Aha, here we are. So I wonder where a room is. I don't know if there's really anything particularly defining about each of these rooms that would draw attention to the fact that it's ours. Here we go. This will help. Let's break into the closet or whatever that is there. And now we can finally open that door. And that will allow us to get out and get in through a closed door elsewhere. That's a nice mechanism. Hopefully we won't need to switch that again, because that would be kind of a little irritating. Just mildly, though. But I don't think we'll need to, because I think we've gotten everything we need to get behind the open ones. There we go, we got a red. I think we've gotten everything on this row, so let's go down to the next one. Here we are. And we got a yellow, which we cannot use over there. Silly me. I know, this is really boring commentary, I know. Do that. And, oh, we do need to press the button again because of that spot there with the cloner. Whoops. Let's go and do this. And be careful not to trap ourselves on the way out. And now, let's just switch things back to the way they were before. I wonder what all these people are doing in these rooms. Like these guys, are they just having a dance party and just going around? Maybe those guys are having like a philosophical discussion and this person is sleeping and the fireballs are just like his breath or something. Yeah, that made total sense. Anyway, let's move on to another subject there. I don't want to talk about people's breath. Looks like we will get the skeleton key here at the very end. But all we need is the suction boots. And I'll use the stairs. Alright, we are out of the hotel. And you know what? I am going to end this session on this level because this level is so much fun. The title is exactly what this sounds like. Just be a glider. And always turn left whenever possible. Yeah, this is pretty fun. I love this concept just because I think it's very interesting just to see how you can use blue walls in such a way that you can minimize people having to actually press on every one of them. Because when we think of blue walls, oops, kind of deviated from the pattern there. When we think of blue walls, our natural inclination is, oh, I need to try everything, you know. And as a result, our levels tend to reflect that design, or that gameplay principle. Because that's kind of the way the original game was. But I think we've gotten to the point now where we can use blue walls in more creative ways than that. We can use them sparingly like they were in the last level, or we can use them as a means of obstruction, such that the actual challenge of the level is related to getting through them in such a way that's logical, rather than having to actually try everything randomly and by brute force. So, for that reason, I really like this level a lot, and I think it would make a really good relief level for CCLP1. And invisible walls kind of follow the same principle too, especially when they can appear like these ones can. And it looks like we are done. We have glided through this level. So, in the next episode, we will take on Build-A-Bridge Workshop.